Right now, you are safe. You probably do not even notice it, but you are inside solid walls, behind locked doors, under a roof that blocks out the outside world. When you step outside, you walk on paved streets, surrounded by cars, lights, and concrete. Large predators exist mostly behind zoo fences or on a glowing screen. But for nearly all of human history, safety was never guaranteed. Outside your ancestors' camp was a world filled with danger. Predators could hide in tall grass, follow tracks, attack from the shadows, or move through the darkness while everyone slept. So here is the real question. For hundreds of thousands of years, with no guns, no modern shelters, and bodies far weaker than most large predators, how did humans survive? Because they did. Our ancestors entered some of the most dangerous environments on Earth and eventually became one of the planet's most successful species. And they did not win because they were stronger. They won because they learned to change the rules. Start with the obvious problem. Humans were physically fragile. We had no claws to tear through hide, no powerful jaws to crush bone. We could not outrun many predators over short distances, and a single human could be easily injured or killed. Against saber-toothed cats, giant bears, or packs of hunting animals, human strength meant very little. Left alone and unarmed, a human was vulnerable. So humans needed an advantage that their bodies could not provide. The first answer was fire. Fire gave warmth, light, and protection, but it had a serious weakness. It only protected the space around it. The moment someone stepped away from the flames to hunt, gather food, or explore, the darkness returned, and with it came everything hiding beyond the firelight. Fire alone was not enough. Humans needed a way to defend themselves without standing directly in front of an animal's teeth and claws. That is where distance weapons changed everything. A heavy club could help, but using it meant getting dangerously close. If a predator charged, one missed strike could be fatal. The real breakthrough was the spear. A sharpened shaft allowed humans to reach farther than their arms. Later, throwing tools, stone points, and other projectile technology allowed people to attack from a safer distance. That changed survival. Instead of waiting for an animal to attack, humans could strike first. Instead of fighting alone, several people could throw or use weapons together. A predator might be stronger than one human, but facing a coordinated group armed with spears was a completely different calculation. These tools were not random sticks. They required planning. A useful weapon needed a straight shaft, a sharp point, and strong materials to hold everything together. Creating one meant thinking ahead, choosing the right resources, and completing several steps in the correct order. Humans were turning intelligence into physical power. Weapons gave our ancestors something their bodies never had: reach. And reach created distance. But even with weapons, another problem remained. The sun was going down, the temperature was dropping, and night was coming. A spear could help against an attack, but it could not create a safe place to sleep. Trees and cliffs sometimes offered protection, but they were not always available. Open landscapes provided few natural shelters, and some predators could climb or move across difficult terrain. If humans wanted safety, they often had to build it. Branches, brush, stakes, and thorny plants could be arranged into barriers. A camp was not just a place to rest. It could become a defensive space designed to make predators harder to approach. The group could keep fires burning, watch the surroundings, and listen for movement. Someone might remain awake while others slept. So, the camp became a system. Fire provided light, barriers slowed movement, people watched for danger, and the group protected itself together. But that created another challenge. Survival depended on cooperation. A person could not simply walk away from the group without taking a serious risk. In the ancient world, isolation could be deadly. Alone, a human was easier to follow, surround, or attack. A group, however, could make noise, carry fire, use weapons, and defend multiple directions at once. Numbers became a weapon. Predators constantly calculate risk. An isolated target may be worth attacking, but a large coordinated group acting aggressively can be dangerous even to a powerful animal. Humans learned to use that advantage. They communicated. They warned each other. They planned movements. They worked together when hunting and defended each other when threatened. A group that could react quickly had a better chance of surviving an ambush. Communication may have been just as important as weapons. Hand gestures could help people signal without making too much noise. Vocal warnings could alert others to danger. Shared behaviors allowed groups to move and respond together. But perhaps the most valuable weapon was not made from wood or stone. It was information. Knowing where predators hunted could save a life. Recognizing tracks could prevent an ambush. Understanding seasonal movement could help a group avoid danger before it appeared. Ancient people learned how animals behaved. They remembered dangerous places, safe routes, and signs that others might ignore. Then they passed that knowledge to the next generation. An experienced hunter could teach younger people what a certain track meant, An elder could explain where animals traveled or how previous groups survived dangerous encounters. A spear could break, a fire could go out, but knowledge could remain. Over generations, human groups built a shared memory of the world around them. That knowledge made every new generation better prepared than the one before it. But there was still one threat that weapons and walls could not completely remove: the dark. At night, the world changed. Vision became limited, but every sound seemed louder. A rustle in the grass could be an animal. A snapping branch could mean something was approaching. A distant call could reveal that a predator was nearby. Or it could leave people wondering what was hidden beyond the firelight. Humans could not travel easily through complete darkness. Hunting became difficult. The group was confined to a small circle of light, while danger might be moving just beyond it. That constant uncertainty could create fear. But ancient people did not simply sit and wait for morning. They used the night. Around the fire, people repaired tools, sharpened weapons, prepared for the next day, and discussed where the group would travel. The night became strategy time. It was also a time for stories. People shared experiences, repeated warnings, and passed important lessons to younger members of the group. Stories could preserve knowledge. A story about a dangerous animal might teach children where not to go. A story about a successful hunt could preserve useful strategies. A warning repeated around a fire could survive long after the person who first experienced the danger was gone. The fire did more than keep predators away. It brought people together. People sat close, shared food, exchanged information, and strengthened the bonds that held the group together. The wilderness did not only test the human body, it helped shape human cooperation, communication, memory, and culture. And when you look at the entire picture, something remarkable becomes clear. Predators did not simply threaten humans. They helped shape us. The danger of powerful animals encouraged the development of weapons. The lack of safe places encouraged humans to build protection. The danger of isolation encouraged cooperation and communication. And the long, uncertain nights created opportunities to share knowledge, plan, and strengthen communities. Humans did not survive because we were the fastest animals. We did not survive because we had the strongest bodies. We survived because we could learn. We could invent. We could cooperate. And most importantly, we could pass what we learned to the people who came after us. One person might be weaker than a predator, but a group carrying weapons, sharing knowledge, using fire, and working together was something entirely different. That was humanity's real advantage. Not strength, strategy. So now look at the world around you. You flip a switch and light fills the room. You close a door and the outside world disappears. You sleep behind walls that your ancestors could never have imagined. You do not have to listen for predators moving through the grass while a small fire slowly fades. You do not have to depend on a group to keep watch while you sleep. Today, we live inside a level of safety built through thousands of years of human invention, and that safety did not appear because nature became gentler. It was created slowly. One tool, one fire, one lesson, one group, one generation at a time. Humans survived the ancient world not by overpowering it, but by understanding it, and by learning how to work together against it. And that is how one of nature's physically weakest large animals slowly became the species that changed the entire planet.